He's going to run, and Lott gets into the end zone.
Watkins in stride, 40 behind the defense, but there he goes.
Spiral to the end zone. And caught at the goal line. He could go. Touchdown, Alabama.
When the first college football game between Rutgers and Princeton took place here in 1869, the game was much different. There were fewer fans, there were no stadiums, and players didn't even wear helmets, no doubt being exposed to serious injury. Fortunately, times have changed, and so has technology as it relates to player safety.
The first football helmets were made of leather, and they were padded on the inside, if at all, with felt padding or batting of some sort. It wasn't until the late 1930s that football helmets started to maybe offer some real benefits against the real types of impacts that could cause serious injuries.
Fans of the game may have noticed a change in the appearance of modern helmets over just the last several years.
Newer helmets tend to be a little bit bigger than ones that were designed, 30, 40 years ago. It was designed to reduce the risk of concussion to the player. You see a lot of corrugation in the shell. This stiffens the shell so it performs better on impact. You see a different face guard style to allow the face guard to actually absorb more of the blows so they don't get to the player's head. You see these forwardly projecting mandibles that allow us to protect areas of the face and side of the head.
Many of these innovations were born out of the laboratory and a new research tool.
This piece of test equipment is called a linear impactor, and it allows us to simulate one helmeted player striking another helmeted player on the football field. You can test it from any angle. You can strike the face guard, you can change velocities, you can change impact environments. So it gives you kind of a broader range of more realistic on-field impacts.
Research is also taking place on the field at places like Virginia Tech, who use an in-helmet monitoring package known as the HIT system to measure the impacts being experienced by each player.
This began back in 2003 when we began instrumenting the Virginia Tech football players' helmets with accelerometers. So we capture every head impact in practices and games for the past 8 years. That's almost over 1 million data points.
Our data is sent through the wireless transmitter from the helmet to this antenna here. It's uploaded to a server and Dr. Duma has access to that. Our threshold is set at about 80 Gs of linear acceleration, and so any time that we get an impact over that, I receive a page to kind of keep an eye on the players.
And the idea was we wanted to be able to give information to the physicians and the training staff to help better evaluate the players.
But Dr. Duma and his team took the study a step further and developed the STAR rating system to rank the performance of different helmet brands available on the market today.
We wanted to use a complex formula that evaluates exposure and helmet performance, but boil it down so it makes sense to the average consumer.
While conducting their research in the lab and on the playing field, Dr. Duma and his team made a startling discovery about their own players.
Okay, here's the results. Half of our players are wearing helmets that we're saying are not very good, and there's a lot better available. And immediately we decided, yes, we're going to buy the better ones. And we bought all the best helmets.
The biomedical engineering department at Virginia Tech purchased new Revolution Speeds to replace the older helmets. When's the last time you heard of an academic department at a Division I school actually providing a grant to the football program? It just doesn't happen. I think it speaks volumes about the confidence he has and the commitment that they have to protecting the players.